Welcome to the first video on drawing the garden bench. This is a great little project for us to start out on. It'll really get you started thinking in 3D as you draw. It's fairly challenging. We've got lots of different parts, and one of the things that we're going to do is after we generate this model, this will actually be your first drawing. This is what you'll do. You'll draw this guy. And then from that, we are going to come up with a parts list. Not only a list, but the objects drawn out in appropriate views so that you can see what their dimensions are. And if you were, a carpenter, you could take these dimensions. You could actually cut these things out and put it together. And one of the reasons why we are able to do this is layers. And if you'll remember, layers have two primary functions. More than that, but two that we're going to really worry about here. One is giving us the ability to show different scales on one sheet. So here, for example, these are a different scale than these parts. The other thing that layers do for us is they allow us to show different views on the same sheet. So not only do we have different scales, we have different views. Here we have a left view. Here we have a left isometric view. If we look at the arm here, we're looking in plan view at that. The seat front, we're looking at plan view there. These arms, we're looking in left view and right view. The back leg, this guy right down here, or this piece, we're looking at it in a left view. The back support is in left view, and this arm support, we're looking at it in front view. So by setting up different layers, we can show different views and different scales. Now, that takes care of layers. Classes, we're going to set up different classes. And here they are, and I'll come back to this in a moment, but I just wanted to show you that I gave all of the pieces their own class. So if it's an arm, it goes in the arm class. If it's a back leg, it goes into the back leg class. Now, I could have drawn this in the class of none, which is right here. This is the default class that Vectorworks gives you with the program. They give you two. They give you none, and they give you one for dimension. We could have drawn everything right here in none, but by setting up these classes and by putting all of these parts into a class that's appropriate to them, we are able to generate a schedule. And the schedule is based on the information that we put in to the computer. We told it, we gave it, called it a back leg, for example. Tells us that we have two of those. Tells us that it's made out of a 2x6, and you'll need 72 inches or 6 feet in order to get those parts. This is a fairly simple little parts list. I wanted to keep it simple on our first stab at this, just so you can go through the moves of actually setting it up. So let's go back and look at our layers and classes. So your job now is to go into your drawing, and actually let me do one other thing before we do that. Let's go over here and take a look at our document settings. I would like for you to draw this on a 17 by 11, legal size, 14 by 8.5. Let's go to drawing area. And you can see that I put in 14 by 8.5. That's legal size. That is a size that you will be able to print out on a normal DeskJet computer printer. If we do 17 by 11, you won't be able to print it out. So that's why I chose that size. It works. Everything will fit on the drawing page. So if you will, set that. And let's get rid of show watermark. And let's get rid of show page break. And we want to see the page boundary, of course. All right, so that's good. That's all set. Now let's go up here to drawing units. And let's set the units for inches. And show unit marks. We want to see the little tick marks. Fractional is the rounding style that we want. You can choose however you like to display your fractions here. Fractional precision at 1/16 of an inch. The rest of this can just stay the way it is. And the grid, let's go in and let's turn the grid off. So yours is probably checked. So check, get rid of show grid. Leave the show 3D z-axis. And now you can go to object. Just have all of those checked. Angle. These are alternative angles here that I've put in. And smart point. Make sure that you have this selected, have acquire, particularly acquire smart points if mouse stops for 0.5 seconds, and set datum if the mouse stops for 1 second. Okay, and then smart edge, I'm not going to, we don't need to do anything with that. And distance, we don't need to do anything with that. Okay, great. So there we go. We've got all of our document preferences set up. Now what you need to do is go in and set up your layers and classes. And so let me go back to that again. Layers, here they are. Layers do not arrange themselves alphabetically. They arrange themselves the way you want them. They're in a stacking order. So for example, I have the title block on the bottom of the stacking order. If I wanted to move it up, I can basically just do that. Just slide it up. Now it's at the top, but I'm going to keep it at the bottom. So set yours up this way, and you can just click and drag them around just like I did there. Notice that schedule layer is checked right now because that's the sheet that I'm on. That's the layer that is active right now. The sheet that I'm on has that as the active layer. I guess that's the best way to say it. You know, and I could change that. But go ahead and don't worry about that little mark. That'll change as you set your sheets up. Okay, so there you are. Oh, and make sure that you not only pay attention to the stacking order, but that you, oops, this moved. Let me get this back down there. Let's see, we had schedule on top, didn't we? Oh, of course it won't move for me now. There we go. Okay, so you can also click on this little guy right up here. It'll move them for you. Notice the scales. That's important. We want to set these scales up. And I might add that if you're using a template that you've already developed and it has layers and classes in it that we're not going to use here, you might want to just go ahead and delete them down here. Make sure you don't delete your title block layer because that's where you have your title block drawn. But anything else that you have in there that you don't need for this drawing, I'd go ahead and get rid of it because it's going to get confusing to you. And you can just click on them and delete. Make sure that you set the scale the way I did. And elevation, that's telling us where the ground plane is, and that 0 is just perfect. So click OK there. Actually, let's do this. Let's just, instead of clicking OK, let's go over here to classes. Let's look at classes. Now the classes that I've developed are for each one of the parts of the garden bench: the arm, the backboards, back legs, back support, so on and so forth. You notice the dimension and none class. Again, those are developed, or those are Vectorworks classes that are just part of the program. Notice that they're in capital letters, and we're going to put all of our classes in lowercase so that we can easily tell the difference between a class that we brought in and a class that Vectorworks brought in. For example, if you go to the resource palette and you grab a door, or you grab a window or a cabinet or a plumbing fixture, they're going to come in with their own class, and they will be capitalized, so you can tell the ones that you've created and the ones that Vectorworks brought in, and you can change them. You can, change the class and give it a class that you want it to have, but they will come in with those default classes, and they will be in capitals. When you set up your classes, make sure the use at creation is set up as I have it here. The fill is just, for now, is just a simple white fill. The lines are just solid lines, and then here are the line weights that I'd like you to set up. If your title block is different, don't worry about that, but these other things, the seat front. Actually, let's go ahead and change these guys right here. I'm going to click on seat board, and I'm going to change that to 0.25. Now, if you don't have 0.25 when in your little drop down, if you have 0.20 or 0.30, but you don't have 0.25, or maybe you have 0.28, just get close. It doesn't matter. The only thing that I really would like to see is, I would like to see your dimensions have a lesser line weight than your objects that you draw. Now let's go ahead and change this seat front. Let's change that to 0.25. Okay. All right, so there we are. There we have all of our classes. We have all of our layers, and we are ready to draw. So I need you guys to take a few moments and go ahead and set this up. And once you get your layers and classes set up, you get your sheet size to legal size, you get all your scales set properly, we will be ready to draw. So I will see you soon. Look forward to it.